And we have a 2-year-old who might not feature right now with us because she's not
So
in the she's
with camera.
she might have a lot of more fun than we are right now. So, but Evie, our 2-year-old, she's just a blessing for us. So it's just amazing. I mean, the story is long. Meeting in person would be actually great with some people to share. But it took a lot of prayer, a lot of thinking. Yeah, I had someone who I had in mind, and she was fitting that picture. And so a lot of pieces really. One way you can know that God is blessing that relationship is you start seeing pieces fitting together without really like forcing so much. For us, it just seemed like a God story of one thing leading to another, one little thing leading to another bigger thing to where we are at, and can't wait to celebrate many more going forward. My version seems to be the longest.
Is it? So he has answered first why he proposed after 1 month. He has answered that question because many of you were asking, how did you date for only 2 months and got engaged? He answered that, and then he answered when did we meet, and why did he decide to pursue Winnie for a wife. So I will go right to my story. So our story is kind of the same. It's just that it's different people telling it. Yeah. So when I saw him 2015 at the Global Leadership Summit, I was registering people coming in. Like he said, when he came, he saw me. But even me, when I was registering, I saw someone coming, and I was like, wow, who is this man? But for some reason, I was like, you know what, Winnie, control yourself. Go back to your work. I started writing, but I kept asking, who is this guy? But I looked at him. He was so composed and very serious. I was like, I think this guy is married. I need to go back to my work. So I went back to my work. Surprisingly, he came at lunchtime. Imagine crushing on someone and then they come to tell you have a beautiful smile. You can imagine how I felt. The goose pimples and, my world changed at the Global Leadership Summit. He told me, you have a beautiful smile. And I didn't know what to tell him. I couldn't tell him I crushed on you. Why he's saying that? But my world changed right there. So he went for lunch, and I was just waiting after lunch to ask him, how was your lunch? But I never saw him for 2 days at the Global Leadership Summit. So I'm thinking, where did he go? That's why I said this man is married. He never came back. So a full year from 2015 to 2016, we are preparing for another summit. Like he said, summits are every November. So we were preparing, and I see him at my church. And I'm wondering, isn't this the guy that told me you have a beautiful smile and never came back? And I'm like, oh my goodness. But I love this man. I don't know whether he's married, but I love this man already. I went to my office and told God, I had to make a prayer right away. I told God, you know exactly how I feel about this man. Could you just tap him? Could you tell him to ask for my number this time? I had known from a friend that he's coming to be a GLS facilitator, and I'm asking, how is he even a GLS facilitator? That must be a kind of person that can be a GLS facilitator. Like, what kind of person comes after 1 year and be the facilitator for GLS? So I'm already falling in love with the man and also what he can do. Yeah. So I asked God, could you tell him to ask me for my number? And yeah, when we went for GLS, he actually asked for my number. Can you imagine? But before that, like I am taking you a little bit back. I went on my birthday, 6th October, before November, I told God, this time I'm not celebrating. I will have a time with you. I went to Pt2 church in the morning and knelt down. Very early in the morning, there were no people in the church. I knelt down. I have been that person who doesn't date this person and this time and this one. So I wasn't dating anyone. I wasn't in dating with anyone. So I went to God and told him, I had a time with God and told him, you know what? I have been patient with men. I have not dated people. I don't know how, love can be. But this October, this my birthday, could you just grace me with a gift? and this gift might be a husband. I want, and I listed down what I wanted. I wanted a tall man, yeah. I wanted a very handsome man. I wanted a God-fearing man, and I listed down that my list. And in November, I met him, and I told God, you know what? I asked him for a gift. If this man is not married, I like him. You know how much I feel for him. Could you tap him to ask for my number? And I feel like he can be my husband. I didn't know the man. I didn't know what he is like, but I told God. So when we went for GLS, he actually asked for my number. He told you the story in long, how he tapped my hand and how we talked. And he says when I asked him that I have a question, could I ask you a question after GLS? He was thinking I was going to be in line with liking him, but it wasn't that. I asked him if he knew my friend. So I think that was a disappointment. But yeah, I asked for his number. He asked for my number, and surprisingly, this man you see here didn't text me after 3 days. You can imagine what I was thinking. I was feeling so disappointed, and in my head I was like, I think this man is married. I need to chill on this man. But after 3 days, I was on my, still praying, Lord, why isn't he texting? And he texted. You can imagine how I jumped out of my chair in my office, and I'm just excited to receive his message. And we talked, and I was just, even in thinking, I'm thinking, who is this man who can respect contact by not texting right away? Because usually when you give someone your number, in the next hour, in the next minute, they're like, hello, guess my name. But he didn't do that. He actually introduced himself again in a very respectable manner, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this man, I can't. Like, he's so much of a gentleman. And he told me why he didn't text. He was like, you know what, I can't just text right away. So that really made me feel even better. So he asked me out for a cup of coffee, and we went. And like he said, when we went for a cup of coffee, after hearing him speak, I was like, this is my kind of dude. Yeah, I feel like I can be with this man years and years to come. So after that, in 2 months' time, he proposed. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, he's going to marry me. Yeah, and I said yes, and we got married. So we are cutting the story short, but we know that there are people who might be inspired by this story. We have it in a longer version. There are questions you have, and you can call us wherever you are, and we will answer those questions, and we will tell you the bigger version when we are in, when we meet you, because on camera we can't do the whole story and tell everything, but you can invite us wherever, and we will tell this story to inspire the youth, to inspire you. How do you know he's the right one? Yeah, and on Wednesday we will answer those questions that we have on live. We will have a live on our Facebook, and we will answer those questions. But that's how we met. That's how, yeah, and we are making 3 years, and we are still doing live. Yeah. That's our story. Thank you so much for listening. We love you all.
And we would love to encourage each one of you on that journey to pray. Yeah. Seek God's guidance. It's a decision that really takes the wisdom, the grace, and patience. Yeah. Waiting on God's best for your life. Thank you so much.
If you've been blessed, just share it. Share it. Yeah. We love you.